you're coming on a show or coming on a podcast, and everybody's not going to be treated with kid gloves. It's not going to happen. We all know Shannon Sharp with Club Shay Shay has had so many successful interviews. The Cat Williams interview, Steve Harvey interviews. He's had so many interviews. But this one right here was a little shocking, and this one was a little controversial. So, we all know Amanda Seales. We all know Amanda Seales. She's a controversial character. She's a controversial figure. And she's very opinionated. So she went on the Club Shay Shay podcast. And she talked about an array of things. And one thing she talked about was her diagnosis of autism. So let's go to the video. Let's go to the clips. There's a few clips I want to play. But this is Amanda Seales on the Club Shay Shay podcast. Let's get to one of the videos right now. This is Amanda Seales on Club Shay Shay, and we'll talk during the segment. Let's get to it.
So let me ask you this. How old were you when you got diagnosed, and did you always feel that you was different and you felt something was wrong?
Well, what's today?
Today is Thursday, the 18th.
So 42 and however many days until I was just recently diagnosed.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And this came out of this situation because so many Black women who are autistic said to me, I see you. You need to. And I've always thought, you can look at other interviews. I have mentioned before, like, I think I'm on the spectrum because I'm an 80s baby. This was not really a part of the narrative.
Right.
And as we started seeing more about autism and you start seeing shows about different characters and I start learning more like from people like Holly Robinson Pete, I'm like, this feels really like me.
And you know what? She makes a great point here because when people think of autism, people think of people who are just slow, people who have a certain look about themselves. But there is a thing, and me and my lady friend talked about this because, she thought that I could have been suffering from this. But it's called functioning autism, where people, they can function normally, but certain things about them aren't as normal as like what normal people will go through. Now, Amanda Seales is really, really smart. She's really, really smart. She's really, really intelligent. And the thing is that people who are on the spectrum, they can live a normal life. They can live everything normal, but could be living with this condition. So let's go to the next clip of her talking about this whole situation.
But then, I think sometimes we're afraid to learn certain things.
Yeah.
So
60s and 70s babies just got whipped and put to bed.
And to be honest, it's true. And to be honest, I just want to say, like, so in this revelation, my mother started looking up like symptoms of autistic children and was like, oh, you exhibited all of this, but I didn't know what to do with this. Mm-hmm. She's a single parent. She's trying to figure it out. But I really just thank my mom because what my mom couldn't show up for me emotionally, I realized that she was able to, at the very least, that's not even fair to say, she was able to still let me be who I am instead of beating it out of me.
Right.
Which happens to so many kids who are misunderstood, and she's West Indian. La Japal Grenada Massive.
Yeah, and see, a lot of times, especially in the Black community, we live in single parent households, and a lot of single parents don't even understand that kids can be this way, and you don't even think about it. Because if you go back and you really do your research on this certain topic, just like epilepsy, just like any other illness or just like any other condition, you do your research and then you go back and then you explain it to your parents or you explain it to your loved ones. was I this way as a child? They say, yeah, you were. It's like, okay, let's go ahead and let's deal with it. But there's another clip that I want to show with her on the Shannon Sharp Club Shay Shay podcast. Let's get to the third clip.
You know, little quacious child that's always talking. And they're telling her, like, why you letting her just do all this talking and all of that? Why she's too fresh? She too fresh. Why you doing all? Why you letting her just run she mouth so? And my mom is like, that's Amanda. Like, let her live.
Right.
And most, let's be real, most parents.
That's what happened.
No, shut it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, most parents and most adults don't understand when kids have that rambunctious attitude. It's not even the rambunctious, but rambunctious mentality. It's not that those kids are troublesome or those kids will get in do all these bad things. It's just that's how these kids are. Now, the interview, I watched it in its entirety, and after the interview, Amanda went online and she had a response to this whole interview. So let's get to that response. This is Amanda responding to the Club Shay Shay interview and talked about the autism and the diagnosis. Let's get to it.
They cut out at the end, he was asking, no, I have not been clinically diagnosed by a doctor because I'm not paying $10,000 to do that. And most people will tell you that at this age, you don't need a clinical diagnosis in that sense. And I think that's the other thing. It's like, we are so conditioned here in this nation to really only consider something in one kind of way. And I will get back to that. They cut out.
So basically, she's saying that they cut out that part of the interview where she said that they paid the $10,000 because you have to pay a certain amount of money to go through the treatments and the testing to get diagnosed with that, and she didn't want to pay that. And she's saying, why in the hell do I have to pay for something that I may already know? The reason that you have to pay is sometimes you want to get a professional to diagnose you or to let you know, because you may not even have that illness or may not have that condition. You may think you have it, but if you're not tested and confirmed to by a professional, then this is what happens. People don't understand and people don't believe you. People just won't believe you, Amanda. And this is the problem that she's having with this Club Shay Shay thing. And people are saying, well, Shannon Sharp wasn't he wasn't a what's the word I'm looking for? He wasn't qualified to do this interview. Now, this is the thing about Club Shay Shay and Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp, he told people from the beginning, I'm not an interviewer, I'm a conversationalist. Shannon Sharp did his research, and this is what happens. You agreed to come on a podcast or agree to go on a program where you know there's a huge following, and people know when they go on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp, they know that they're going to get exposure. And Amanda Seales has gotten a lot of exposure and all these things. So let's go ahead and show what she said about this whole Club Shay Shay interview. And this is her saying, I'm gonna full screen this. I'm gonna full screen this one right here. She said, Shannon, but Shannon, have you been clinically diagnosed? She says, yes, there's a clinical diagnosis for autism. He then hung his head or whatever, and this is where everything gets a little dicey. You know what I'm saying? He then hung his head in exultant frustration because I didn't answer his question. This is called deflection. Why? Because I'm not going to be pressured by this man who was interrogating me with absolutely no love for me into proving something to him that L, by his line of questioning, he had already committed to undermining. I understand my response may be confusing to some, but I am clarifying it as I did in my live, and that is enough. So basically what's going on is that this whole Shannon Sharpe, Amanda Seales interview is stirring up a lot of controversy, and a lot of people are saying, Shannon, he was wrong for this, and he treated her wrong and all these things. But this is the issue that Amanda's she's gonna have to really think about. When you go on other people's platforms, you have to understand, you have to, as a person who's getting interviewed, do your research on the person that's interviewing you. Not only does the person who's interviewing you has to do their research, you have to do your research on what platform you're going on to. Now, the whole autism thing, I know it's personal. You didn't want to get into the logistics of it, but at the end of the day, those questions were going to be asked. And I think the thing that is being lost in this whole situation is that, let's talk more about autism. Let's talk more about let's talk about the condition. You know what I'm saying? Her and Shannon going back and forth, and there's more that came out of this interview, but that's just the big part about the autism thing. That was a big part I wanted to cover, because they talked about on the nightcap with him and Gilbert, they talked about why she's single and all these black women. And the black women, man, they came for Shannon head. They came for Shannon head, talking about, why aren't black women being protected and all these things. But this is the thing. You're coming on a show or coming on a podcast, and everybody's not going to be treated with kid gloves. It's not going to happen. I guarantee you there was some controversy and somebody else came on that podcast. It was with another man. And I know when Steve Harvey came on in, there was questions. When Cat Williams came on, there was questions. When Country Wayne came on in, there was questions. Like, well, she's a woman. I mean, wasn't Monique on there? Monique was on there. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he's just interviewing men. He's interviewed women in the past. I think he just had a man. It's like he had a couple other women on there, but this is the thing. She knew what she was getting into, and she needs to realize that there are some people that will believe her, and there are some people who won't believe her. Some people take Shannon's side, and some people will take her side. But you agreed to do the interview. The interview was good. I enjoyed it. I watched it. And you have to just say to yourself, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have did this interview. And and go ahead and move on. Amanda Seales is a really smart person. But the thing is, some people are overly intelligent. They get in their own way. And I think this is what Amanda Seales does. Some people are just so smart, and some people are so rambunctious that they don't even think. Like, yo, I gotta think more logically about things like this. I get in my own way. But hey, let me know what you think about this whole interview and this whole situation with Amanda Seales and Shannon Sharpe with the Club Shay Shay interview. Is Amanda Seales right? Did she get a fair shake on the interview with Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay Shay? It's your boy Jay. Hit that like button. Also comment. Let me know what you think about this whole situation. On my road to 5,000 subscribers. Also, if you like the content, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, folks, I'm out.